Hello there and welcome to the channel. I hope you're keeping safe and well. Okay, so in this video I'm going to take you through creating a Logic template. So why don't we dive over into Logic and we can take a look. But before you do, please don't forget to subscribe, click that bell icon and give us a like. Okay, let's go into Logic. Just to set the scene, with this track needs to be mixed in the next 3 or 4 days, and I thought instead of just starting from a blank template and just going through the process of setting up a mix template, I thought I'd do it from a scenario of a live situation. So these audio tracks and MIDI tracks that you see in front of you, they've been recorded by individual singers and musicians using GarageBand from their own homes. In terms of the standard of audio equipment, obviously it's just probably dynamic mics and small interfaces, maybe Focusrite or something like that. And they've recorded this in a common software that's free to everybody, that's GarageBand. So where we are with this mix is I've imported this audio into this Logic project. Now there's still some bass and some drums to port in, but fundamentally I can start the process of setting up the mix template from here, and then I'll just talk through some of the things that I'm doing as I'm going along. So first and foremost, I need to get to the mix window, and here's the mix window. If I look at the arrange page and just open that up, I can see that we've got, this is just a scratch take. We've got some acoustics, BVs, and now I think all these literally are just the guide tracks, and the actual audio, if you like, or the song starts from here. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to put all these in a folder. So I'm going to create what we call a track stack, create track stack. Summing is almost like a bus really, but I just want to create a folder. And that just nicely kind of puts that away. And I'm just going to put that tracks. Okay, I don't want to delete them, but nonetheless they're unused, and I can just stick a mute on that. Okay, so for the first thing that we can do is just begin to color code. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do that in the mixer window, which is Option C, and up comes your colors. So for my electrics, I like to color them green. For my acoustics, I like to colour them green again, but a different shade. For my pianos and synths, Option C, I like to colour them in a, purple, mauve colour. Lead box, I like to keep as blue. Backing vocals, Option C, I like to do in a slightly different shade of blue. That's bass. So I like to do that in a brown colour. And drums, I like to do those in orange. We're not going to be doing live drums in this scenario. Somebody's going to be recording some MIDI drums, and I'm going to be using the MIDI file. Okay, so that's everything colour coded. Now you'll see also that we've got an option. So what you can do, if you do a right mouse click, you've got channel strip components, and I like to, and you can tick these however you want. So I like to see the groups. So if I turn that off, you'll see groups go away. So let's have a look at that. I like to see the groups. I like to see notes, because I like to put notes here. Okay, so in effect how you get there. Again, you want to go to channel strip components. You can do track numbers if you want. There's a track, don't necessarily need to see that. You've got, what else have we got in here which I find useful? Track name stacks, track notes. A good scenario here is this. This is live drums and this is program drums. I've just used these notes here. Another thing I can do, I've coloured all those. So what I can do is just select all these. And we've got a function here. I can colour those tracks by those regions. So colour regions by tracks. And there you go. They've just coloured all those regions by those tracks. Something else I like to do, it's not really necessary, it's just more of a visual aesthetic. If I just see this icon, if I want to, I can change that to, so I'm going to just check, I can change that to electric guitar, just put an amp. Just as a by way of comment, because some of you guys out there may be really experienced with Logic, and therefore to some degree some of this is probably old news to yourself. Can you highlight, or do you know how you can highlight multiple tracks and then do, for example, what would be great if you could just go highlight that, click the icon, and it would just do it for all the highlighted tracks, the icon. I've never found a way to do multiple changes to icons across tracks, so that's why I'm doing it individually. So I'm going to stop there and I'll finish that off. So I'll finish that off at a later stage. Another thing you can do is, what I like to do is, a bit like on the mixer window, you can create in here track components. And again, so the track components I've got the on off, so I can turn the, in effect, on off. We'll turn the track on or off. So that's off, on. What else have we got here? You can mute. So I've got a mute, that's the M. Solo a track. Track protect. If I click that there, I can protect the track so I don't accidentally delete it. What else can I do? I could put as you expand this out, you'll see the volume. So these are the kind of things I've got in place. You can track color by bars, so that will just put the track colors by bars there. So in terms of, you can configure this however, whichever way that you want, really. This is how I've got mine set up. This is how I'm going to set mine up now. So with those components. So the next thing I want to do is just create some buses. That's easily done. Just highlight the electric guitars. I'm going to send that to bus number 1. I'm going to do the same for the acoustics. I'm going to send that out to bus number 2. And you'll see that the buses appear down the bottom of the mixer. And I'm just going to put electric, acoustic. Okay, so what I like to do with the vocals, I like to do parallel compression. So I'm going to send this vocal to 4 buses. So bus 5, bus 6, bus 7, and bus 8. Also, I may use a plugin called Doubler, and I'm going to send those to 4 tracks. Now what I can do now, I can do this from the arrange page. If I go back to the arrange page, what I like to do is actually put the buses where the tracks are. So I'm going to show, I'm just going to quickly do that now. So the bass I want to put there. The drums is perfect where it is. BVs I want to move after the BVs. So let's go back to the mixer window. So now this is just the way I like to do it. I've got all my electrics, guitars, and then the bus. The acoustic guitars next to the bus. Synths next to the piano and synth bus. Lead vocals with all the processing there. We've got the BVs, again, next to its bus. We've got bass next to its bus and drums next to its bus. Okay, so I am a fan of parallel compression. You can see that I've set up parallel compression for these vocals. So what I'm going to do there now is just set parallel compression for the individual tracks. So for electric, I want to go there and create. Well, I'll probably start with the drums first. I know I'm going to be using program drums, so I'm going to take a bus and go in there, and I'm going to call that drum PC. Okay, bass makes sense. Let's create a bass, and I'm going to call that bass. Oops, bass PC. Okay, so there's my parallel compression. I don't like to put those next outside of the vocals. I don't like to put the parallel compression, to be honest, next to the individual tracks. I keep them separate. Okay, the other thing I need to set up are things like reverbs and delays. I'm going to start with the lead vox first. So that first one is vox verb. And this is where I like to use the notes. So on this vox verb, I'm going to use that side chain, oops, comp, delay, comp, and again I'm going to use that as a delay. Oops, slap back. So there's my reverbs and delays. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there now. There's still some work to do. I want to create some groups. I want to create some VCAs, and also we need to look at screen sets and channel strips. So that'll be for the next video.